The college hockey postseason beckons, and we will get you ready for it here on North Dakota Hockey Central. I'm Alex Heinert. Great to have you with us for another 30 minutes inside college hockey's greatest program. Coming up, we will look back on UND's regular season finale against familiar opposition before setting the scene for the NCHC Frozen Faceoff and getting to know another North Dakota freshman forward. Before we get there, though, we're proud to present the latest episode of UND's award-winning web series, Through These Doors.
Through These Doors is presented by Gate City Bank.
Well, to start it off, as soon as I see someone else cry, I'm going to start crying too. So that's what started it. But also just living with those guys too, I guess it meant a little more. But yeah, no, seeing them skate around like that, their last game, I guess not last game, but last regular season game, it was, yeah, it was pretty sad.
Before the Frozen Faceoff commences at the Ralph, the players take this juncture in time to reflect on special moments throughout the season.
It was pretty special. It's definitely something I'll never forget. It's always nice to get your first goal of the season out of the way, then they kind of start coming. But no, it was just a great pass by Kieris, and I was lucky enough to get a pass to goalie. And it was a pretty high intensity game too. It's a pretty big rivalry. I actually had my coach text me just about the rivalry because he coached there at Denver, and he just said it's an awesome rivalry and just live in the moment and have fun. And it was definitely a special moment for me.
I think going into the game and during the game, I felt really good, and I felt like I should score that game. And lucky enough, I got a good opportunity too. I had a few good opportunities that game. And, luckily, one of them was good enough to go in the net. So. I think obviously scoring that first one in a UND sweater was a pretty cool feeling, and I think it's something that I'll never forget.
I gotta say, in the pod when we were playing St. Cloud, I made a glove save, and I forget what game was. I think it was the second time we played them. I kind of went all over Twitter, and the guys gave me some crap for it, but I think that's my most favorite save this year.
Say the Penrose is the situation that sticks out in the season. Obviously a super special night. And, I think if I think back to the pod, it's just so many good memories there with guys. And I think mainly off the ice, we had such a great time off the ice. And I think that really just took our team to another level. And
What are you doing?
How is it?
What are you doing, man?
Is it cold?
Such a weirdo.
Guys bonded away from the rink and, always playing pool or darts or foosball or whatever it was. We were always just in such a tight space together doing stuff. So honestly, if anything sticks out, I think it was just the camaraderie around the hotel and just getting to know all the guys.
Newcomers to the program have a unique perspective in terms of forming bonds and learning about the conference for the first time.
The one game we had against Duluth, and obviously the series against Omaha and Denver, there's pretty heated rivals there. So anytime we can really have a game that there's so much on the line, and obviously the physicality ramps up and everything, all the emotions. So I think those are really fun games to play in as well.
I felt like my offensive game is kind of it's getting a lot better throughout the year. And I have to thank the guys for that too in practice. Just seeing what they do. Defensemen and forwards, the moves that they do, I kind of look at and try to implement that in my game. And just watching hockey too, watching all the high-end defensemen on all the teams, just seeing what they do and getting ideas to do that on the ice. And Coach Gehring does a great job with us defensemen just to try to increase our offensive ability, and we work on that all the time in practice. So just doing the reps and being confident enough to do in the games, I think that's a big thing for me.
After playing the last 4 games against Omaha, the guys look forward to lacing them up against a new opponent.
Yeah, I think it's exciting to play some new players, obviously. You play the same team so many times. It's, I mean, I guess it's fun. You develop some good rivalries and stuff, but I think it's just exciting for the guys to, kind of see another team and just play against some different players that have different tendencies. So, we're super pumped up and ready to go for Friday.
I think it was really good. The guys have a lot of energy and a lot of jump. Obviously, it's kind of feels a bit like a little bit of a fresh look, and I think we know it's kind of crunch time now, and I know the guys are going to be ready, and we can't wait to get out there on Friday.
KG was making fun of LaDucer for his music, but I backed him up on it. I like the Lady Gaga, and I was having fun out there. I was in a good mood. I was dancing, moonwalking a little bit, but no, I love when they turn on the music in the Ralph. It's a good time.
We had some throwback tunes going there. I'm not exactly sure who was on the aux, but don't mind a few throwbacks once in a while. Still, I didn't hate it.
Thanks to Tyler Hasted, Chad O'Shea, Cassie Niles, and UND's entire Through These Doors team. We've got a quick break to take, but when we come back, we'll give you 8 good minutes with the head coach of the 8-time national champions. Brad Berry stops by after this. Welcome back to North Dakota Hockey Central. Let's go now to Ralph Engelstad Arena, where UND head coach Brad Berry is standing by. Brad, thanks for the time during a busy week of pro-season preparation for you.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex.
We will talk a lot about the upcoming NCHC Frozen Faceoff after we look back at this past Friday's regular season finale against Omaha. It was senior night at the Ralph, and before the game even started, your 8 seniors were introduced with some words of support from their parents on the Jumbotron. A really cool touch from the program and the REA to make that happen.
Yeah, you know what? Kudos to the REA and athletic department for allowing us to have some parents' comments and feedback on the 4 years that their son played at North Dakota here. And I know, I think going into it with the COVID year, especially the Canadian families not having parents down here, it was a nice touch, even though they couldn't be physically in the building, to have some words of encouragement on the scoreboard.
Once the puck was dropped, it felt like the visitors had the better of the play for the first 30 minutes. What allowed the Mavs to have the better start and gain that 2-goal advantage early?
Yeah, I think specialty teams, just going over the games on video here over this week here, I thought we started all right, and then we took a penalty, and we didn't get we got the kill, but they had some momentum off it, and then we had a power play, and they got some momentum off our power play. They had a great look on it, so I don't think we were sharp on our specialty teams early, which led to a little bit of their momentum, and eventually at the end of the night, I think they were 2 for 3, and we were 0 for 4, 0 for 5, and they won the special teams battles, which at this time of year always is indicative of winning and losing a game.
Your team did fight back and erase that deficit with goals on either side of the second intermission from Jackson Keene and Jordan Kawaguchi. It felt especially fitting that Jackson would get one on his own senior night after what he'd done for last year's senior class on their final home game of the year.
Well, yeah, and again, like going back to a year ago, Jackson gave up a spot in the lineup for a senior to come in. That's what our culture is all about, and we love that. And I think one of the things Jackson Keene does, he brings his best hockey at the end of the year, and he played well at the end of last year before our season got canceled there, and now he's playing his best hockey now towards the end of this year. So we're looking at a lot of great things with him and that line moving forward into the playoffs.
Yeah, great to see those guys click. Peter Thome got the start on Friday and made a handful of key saves down the stretch to keep the score tied at 2. What did you see from your senior goaltender?
Yeah, I thought he was sharp in the game. You know, after not playing for an extended period of time, he came in and he had to make some tough saves, like we talked about earlier in the first period on the penalty kill and on a power play. He had to make a couple of key saves early in the game and to not give them the lead. And he gave us a chance to win. You know, and we didn't make enough plays for him to get the win. But I thought he came in and did a really good job after not playing for an extended period of time.
Thome and Omaha's Isaiah Seville kept the offenses at bay and forced overtime after 60 minutes. I know you won't have 3-on-3 OT in the postseason, but as he hadn't had a sudden death situation since December, was it a positive for your guys to experience that feel of overtime hockey again?
Yeah, I believe a little bit, you know, knowing that, you know, the game's on the line after 60 minutes. And, you know, it came down. We took a penalty. I thought we had a couple of great chances to start the 3-on-3. And then they came down on a rush. We took a penalty off and then had to kill a 4-on-3. And they ended up getting a tip-in goal from the side, a play that Peter had no chance at. And it was a situation where, yeah, you want to get into that playoff mode. Hopefully, you know, we can win games before it gets to overtime in the playoffs. But just to get a taste of it, I think that's beneficial.
The loss snapped a home win streak that dated back to January of last year. What can you take from this defeat to help you move forward?
Yeah, that we, you know, at this time of year, everybody's got to bring their A game. You know, everybody, to whatever the role they're in, they have to be sharp and they have to be ready to go. And I just feel that, you know, there's no excuses in that game. You know, obviously you want to try to win each and every game and run the table, but I just felt we weren't as sharp as we could have been. And I think a lot had to do with maybe the emotional part of senior night, already having the Penrose in hand, playing a team 4 times in a row. You can name a number of things, but it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we're ready to win games time and time again, and you know, making sure that we have a great week of practice, turn the page, and now we're focused on the second season, which is the playoff season.
Now, you mentioned it, with the regular season over, you can now fully turn that focus to the Frozen Faceoff. It's a single game elimination format this year in the quarterfinals instead of a best-of-3 series. How does that change the mindset of your team entering Friday? Well,
I think it's one of those things where you want to try to you know, you want to try to win 2 games in a row. In this situation, where I want to win 3 in a row to win the NCHC trophy, or the playoff championship. But you want to play with momentum, and you want to win that first one and then dial into the second one and keep winning consecutive games, because that's what it's going to take in the NCAA tournament, to win some consecutive games to win that 9th national title. And our guys feel that. And you know, I feel our guys are playing our best hockey right now, and I think our guys are dialed in to do something special. One last thing is, we've never won, in the 8-year existence of the NCHC, we've never won the playoff championship, which is usually at the XL Energy Center. So, you know, that's one of the boxes we want to check, is to do something that we've never done here before, and that's win the NCHC playoff championship.
That quest starts with Miami, who will serve as your quarterfinal opponent. You've not played the Redhawks since December, when you beat them to open and close the NCHC pod. What's your read on how Chris Bergeron's team is looking now?
Well, they're a much improved team since then. You know, they're playing good hockey. They're a hungry team. You know, they're in a situation where, you know, they have to win the NCHC playoff tournament to get an automatic qualifier bid in the NCAA tournament. So, you know, in a single elimination game, it comes down to one game, a 60-minute game, that anybody can win. And I know they're going to be hungry, but you know, we got to make sure that we match and exceed that perseverance and that relentlessness attitude.
You need to win 3 games in 5 days to claim your first Frozen Faceoff title. You just alluded to it. It's the one trophy this program has not won yet. How do you get it done on home ice this coming weekend?
Shift by shift. It's a situation where, you know, we feel that we've got a really good lineup going in with 4 lines and 6D, and our goaltenders are playing at a high level right now, and everybody just taking a shift at a time approach, and making sure that they play their role to the best that they can. And as Bill Belichick would say, do your job. And if everybody does their job, we'll do well.
Well, we were excited to see your team begin this postseason journey, Brad. Thanks as always for the time. Best of luck in this year's Frozen Faceoff.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. Thanks for digging in the whole regular season. We look forward to calling the games in the NCHC playoffs here in Grand Forks.
Yeah, we cannot wait. Well, when North Dakota Hockey Central returns, we will get to know another standout freshman on this year's UND roster. Griffin Ness is in our Meet the Freshman spotlight after this. Welcome back. Former Waterloo Blackhawk Griffin Ness has been a solid addition to this year's North Dakota roster. The forward was a high school teammate of current UND junior Mark Sendon at Wayzata, and he's projected to have a similar kind of impact as his career moves on. For more on Griffin, here's the freshman in his own words.
I'm Griffin Ness. I'm a forward from Wayzata, Minnesota, and I play for the University of North Dakota. My dad played hockey at Gustavus, which is a D3 school in Minnesota, so I've been in skates ever since I was a little boy. I have a little brother who plays too, so we've just kind of been a hockey family. My mom loves hockey too, so I've just grown up loving it and playing it, so I've just been doing it my whole life pretty much. We have no pets, but I have my mom, my dad, me, I'm the oldest, and then my sister is a freshman in college, and my little brother is a senior in high school. So we're all pretty close, we're all within 3 years, and yeah, I love them. It was good. It was a grind at some times, especially with me and my brother, but you know, we love each other, and it's all fun and games at the end, and we battle sometimes, but it was good. Yeah, I think we've been to the ER probably combined like 6 times for stitches, just like high sticks in the basement, or getting mad at each other and like pushing each other into walls or something. Like, I couldn't tell you how many times I've been to the ER for stitches. When we were here in the summer, I got the golf pass at Kings Walk, so me and Reese is a huge golfer, so we golfed as much as we could. But other than that, just hanging out with the boys, hanging out with my friends when I'm back home, either golfing or just like going up to my cabin in the summer. I like the lake and like being outdoors, so just all of those things probably. Here I really like the Blue Moose. Me and my mom and my dad always go there when they're here. Just kind of a good sit-down place across the river. But like if we're like in a crunch and I gotta get like a fast food place, probably I like Chick-fil-A or Noodles and Company probably. Those are the top 2. Ooh, there's so many good things. I kind of try to switch it up, try new things. I've only been there like 2 or 3 times. But last time I was there, I got like the Sriracha Ranch wings, like the appetizer. Those are super good. I love music. I love country music. I kind of like all sorts of music. Movies, yeah, our house watches movies like once or twice a week, so we do enjoy those. But I'm a big TV show guy, like watching like the Netflix TV shows and stuff like that. So that's probably what I'll do like when I'm laying in bed before I go to bed. Favorite Netflix show? That's a tough question. Right now I'm watching Grey's Anatomy. Because when we were in quarantine, me and my mom started that over the summer, so I'm almost done with it actually throughout this whole summer, all 16 seasons, so been kind of grinding that one. But I like the comedies too, like The League, obviously the classics like The Office or Friends, but those are kind of some of my favorites, yeah. I'm Griffin Ness. I'm a forward from Wayzata, Minnesota, and I play for the University of North Dakota.
Ness hasn't found the back of the net for UND yet this season, but if you watch him in practice, it is clear he's got great feel around the net and a good scoring touch. He'll be one to watch as a breakout candidate in the fall, or maybe during UND's postseason this spring. We will preview what to expect in the Frozen Faceoff when North Dakota Hockey Central continues. Welcome back. Let's get you up to speed on what's happening around college hockey, beginning with this week's USCHO.com poll, where Boston College is now back on top, following North Dakota's loss last Friday. Note that there are 3 Big Ten teams ranked in the top 6 and 3 Hockey East teams in the top 10, but the NCHC still has the most representation near the top, with 4 squads ranked 11th or better. Next up on the calendar, the Frozen Faceoff, which begins Friday in Grand Forks with St. Cloud and Colorado College facing off at 2:30 p.m., followed by UND Miami at 7:30. Saturday's early game features Omaha and Denver, while the late game pits Minnesota Duluth against Western Michigan. The semis are on Monday, the title game Tuesday, all inside Ralph Engelstad Arena. North Dakota swept the Red Hawks by a combined score of 8-2 over 2 games in December's NCHC Pod, but in a one-game playoff, don't expect UND to be looking ahead.
We understand he's the goalie is probably going to start on Friday is pretty good, so they're a hard-working team as well, and we're not underestimating these guys at all. I think in playoffs, seeding doesn't really matter. I think anything can happen, and we're going to go into it like it's our last game. Potentially could be our last game, and just play hard.
I think our coaches just do such a great job of preparing us for each week. So, I think we'll be ready from the get-go. I don't think, we play them 2 times in the bubble, so, we're pretty familiar with them. So it's not going to be anything new. We just got to worry about us and play our game, and I think, that'll take care of itself if we just stick to our game. And, I think the coaches prepare us well, so we'll be fine.
The Fighting Hawks' quest for their first Frozen Faceoff title begins this weekend, and we will have their quarterfinal against Miami live here on MidcoSN at 7:30 Central. We hope you join us then and that you come back here next week for a full recap of the NCHC Frozen Faceoff. Until then, on behalf of our MidcoSN crew, I'm Alex Heinert. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the Ralph this weekend for playoff hockey.